Welcome back to the Cosmopolitan. We are back at one of my favorite hotels on the entire Las Vegas Strip. We are at the Cosmopolitan. This time we're in the Boulevard Tower. I've actually never stayed in the Boulevard Tower before. I'm usually over in the Chelsea Tower. Now we were originally going to be in a room that you've seen before, which is going to be just with your balcony overlooking either the fountains or Harmon or whatever the case was. But we decided, just as an extra treat for us and for you guys, let's do a little bit of an upgrade. Now we are actually in a Wraparound Terrace room on the 58th floor of the Boulevard Tower. One of the first times I stayed at the Cosmopolitan, I was in a Wraparound Terrace room just like this over in the Chelsea Tower. So always been like one of my favorite rooms, and I'm really happy I get to show you guys this. I've seen some little upgrades here and there, some changes in the, the furniture and the wallpaper, things like that. Anyway, let's do a room tour. Let's show you guys what we got here. I'm really excited, I can't wait. So as soon as you walk in, there's a couple of neat little buttons here. So you've got like the do not disturb, the housekeeping button. So if you need any of those things, right here for you. You've got the different lights as well. So if you're like leaving, for example, you press goodbye, it'll turn down all the lights. As you enter the room, if you press hello, you've got this nice bright light. And again, if you press relax, you can do some more like mood lighting, and which is nice. You can actually adjoin these rooms. There's two doors here which will adjoin to other rooms if you do want more space, maybe a couple extra bedrooms, because this is only a one bedroom, surprisingly enough. Over here, you've got your first closet, which again, I mean, you're not gonna put too much in. This is more for like jackets, luggage, whatnot. So yeah, we just threw a couple things in there just for the time being. It's the little touches for me at the Cosmopolitan, and it always has been. Like this little area here is absolutely gorgeous. I love the lamp. I love this little table set up here as well. The artwork. You're gonna see a lot of amazing artwork in this room that just, I love it. I just wish this was my home. Anyway, let's continue on with the tour. Again, some more artwork. You've got this like, just this beautiful, aesthetically pleasing like pieces all over the place that, yeah, just really exciting stuff. Anyway, keep going. This is where you're gonna find your first bathroom, and I wanna emphasize that, first bathroom. I love, again, the little touches that the Cosmopolitan does. So this mirror here, I mean, you've got this could be your only bathroom. You really don't need anything else besides what you've got in here. I love the little lock and key in the top of the mirror there. Again, it's these little touches that Cosmopolitan provides. Because you are in one of their nicer rooms, they do provide dental kits as well. You got your mouthwash, you got your lotions, your facial soaps, all the things you need to make yourself really comfortable in here. You got some storage. I mean, again, this could be your only bathroom and you would be perfectly fine. If you want to follow me inside, obviously the toilet. Again, this beautiful wallpaper. You always have a face in the bathroom, those in the Cosmopolitan. I don't know what that is. Cosmopolitan must love, keeping you company while you're doing your business. This shower is really spacious as well. I love the towel work. It's very similar to one in the other tower as well. The towel work, that like iridescent kind of like mermaid tile. I will say, I'm a sucker for consistency. You do have the 5 widths products that's, in most of the rooms here. It used to be CO Bigelow, if you guys recall, but now they've got the 5 widths products. Obviously, it being an MGM property now, you have these cure, whatever you pronounce it. This tends to be in their lower, I don't want to say lower tier, but that's what it is. This tends to be in, the Luxor, the Excalibur, places like that. So I'm very surprised it's in here and a little bit disappointed, especially for consistency's sake. To me, it should be all the same product. I don't like seeing this in here. You also have another product which I've never seen in here before, Echoes of Nature. So I don't know where this came from. I don't know why it's in here. Again, it's just, keep it consistent. Anyway, let's continue the rest of the tour. So as you walk in further, you've got the full-length mirror. I mean, there's a few full-length mirrors in here, so you are spoiled for choice. You have a little kitchen area, and I say little, it's not little at all actually. You've got the full-on sink, you've got a lot of storage, you've got, tons and tons of storage in here. You do have a mini fridge. Now, I do remember I stayed in one of these rooms about 10 or so years ago, and it did used to actually have a full-on fridge. I don't know why they changed that, but anyway, something I noticed. I do believe these might have actually, some of these are used as condos, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, you do also have the mini bar and the little snack area. Everything is on a sensor. We're not touching any of this stuff because we already paid a lot of money to be in this room. Let's leave it at that. Again, the artwork, I love it so much. I want this in my place. You got the King of Hearts ripping off one of his hearts to try and give it to the Queen of Hearts. You got the King of Diamonds trying to give it diamonds. I just think it's really fun how they did this. It's just really kitschy. It's cute. I love it. It's on brand too for the Cosmopolitan. You also do have a wine fridge in here as well. That's something that you don't see in a lot of hotels in Las Vegas, that's for sure. Again, more storage. Lots of storage. Again, more artwork. You've got this piece here where, one of the first things that stood out to me, you got the little Rolex crown here, and just really neat, just something fun to look at. Again, more storage. Don't know what you're storing in there, but you got it. Little dining table here if you want to just hang out, have some breakfast or something to eat. You can just chill here, why not? I did forget to mention with the kitchen area as well, you do also have the bar stools. So again, if you are entertaining, this is perfect for that. You can have a couple people sitting here while you're maybe behind the bar mixing drinks. If you want to just lay out, read a book, hang out, you've got this little chaise lounger here as well, which is perfect. I am going to get into the view momentarily, so don't peek. Another big, beautiful TV. Got this nice frame around it as well. You can move the TV as well, which is nice. So depending on what area in the room you're in, you can get the perfect view. Again, you've got the iPad controls for different things like, if you need in-room controls at all, guest services, etc. That is there, which is nice and handy to have. This sectional is awesome. I do like how they broke it up with this little table in between. Like you have, the chaise lounger here. You've got the little, if you want to put your drinks, you still do have the coffee table, but if you want to put, drinks and whatnot on here, food, whatever, snacks, perfect. I really love this blue and neutral aesthetic. I tried to do the same kind of vibe in my mom's place when I was helping her kind of do some renos. I really like it. It just gives that nice bright pop of color, those jewel tone blues. Anyway, it's really, really beautiful. Again, it's those little touches that I was talking about before. Even this artwork here, just really cool. Let's check out the bedroom. You've got a beautiful king-size bed. Again, utilizing these blues, kind of ties it all together, keeps it consistent, which is really nice. You got tons of USB outlets as well, regular outlets on these lamps here. Again, more storage, lots of storage. I think it's kind of neat that instead of having the typical, Bible like you used to see, you've got this, book with different artwork in here, different, yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Again, another sitting area. This lamp, again, it's the little touches for me. I just think this lamp is so cool, very Art Deco and just, yeah, really cool. The bathroom is beyond. So again, you have more storage in here where you see Queen in there. Love to see that. Again, like I've said before, it's these little touches that just kind of make the Cosmopolitan for me. You got your safe in here, you got more storage, lots and lots of storage. Again, another toilet. That's why I said to you, the first toilet, this is the second toilet in here. I really think that's a great art piece there as well. Again, it's these little touches that Cosmopolitan makes sure you're always in good company when you are using the toilet. You do have dual vanities, and it's not just one vanity. You have the vanity over here to keep your stuff completely separate. So you can have somebody over here making out as much mess and taking as much space as they need, and you have another spot over there as well to the exact same thing, which I think is really awesome. Again, you've got all the 5 Wits products as well. You got the dental kits, mouthwash, but once again, you've got this Cure body lotion. I'm really disappointed in this, you guys. I need to find out what's going on here. Again, I know that Cosmo has been taken over by MGM, but I know Cure is one of their lower tier products. I know they have some better products in their lineup, so yeah, we gotta use that. And of course, the soap dish. You know what, this funny thing is I have seen so many people talk about this soap dish online, how the soap gets stuck there and they can't get it out. So I just find it funny that this has caused so much controversy. So anyway, they still have it for those of you wondering. You got a very spacious shower once again. And at least this time, consistent 5 Wits products at least. I don't know, maybe they ran out or something happened, but you do at least have the consistent 5-foot product. Same with the bath area as well. You've got a nice soaking tub. There are no jets in here like they do have in some of the other towers, but at the same time, again, it's consistent. You got your shower cap, facial soap, and it's 5 widths, all the same stuff. Keep it that way. Second vanity, very much the same as the first, except you have this sort of pull-out mirror as well, magnified with the light and everything. Great to have. Again, more storage, just what we need. And all the little things, that little touches, like if you forget to bring your stuff, you got cotton swabs, you got Q-tips, all those little things like that just make things more of a comfortable stay. Now, of course, I would be crazy to not mention the main reason why we are at the Cosmopolitan. This is why you spend the big bucks. And once again, Wraparound Terrace. So as mentioned, we are in the Boulevard Tower. So that is the Chelsea Tower behind me over there. You also have views further down of like Park MGM. I can see as far as Allegiant Stadium. Beautiful views. Of course, we've got the Bellagio. You've got the Rio in the background. You've got the palms in the background. Getting my steps today on this terrace. And there you have it. These are some of the most beautiful views in all of Las Vegas. You've got the entire strip behind you. You've got obviously the Bellagio fountains, which we were showing you at the beginning of this video. You cannot go wrong with this view. This is like, to me, this is Vegas. Like, I feel like I am still a part of Vegas, even when I'm in my room, because I can sit outside, I can enjoy the smells, the atmosphere, everything. But look at the size of this terrace. Like, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely massive. This is, as I mentioned, the Wraparound Terrace. It doesn't get much better than this, you guys. Yeah, I'm blown away. We are probably going to hang out here and just watch some of the fountains, but before we do that, I do want to mention that we are staying here for 3 nights. As mentioned in the beginning, we did do an upgrade. We were here for comp for 3 nights, but we decided to pay. They only charged us an extra like $90 to be here. So I'm actually kind of surprised by that, because Cody and I are both platinum at Cosmopolitan as well. We're also given an extra $250 to spend on food and drinks and other resort credits like that. So you will see some more videos coming out of this trip. This video in particular is just going to be of this room tour, and at the end, my sort of final thoughts of our stay in this room. There will be separate videos of different restaurants and other experiences in the Cosmopolitan, as well as in the Las Vegas area, of course. So if you're not subscribed, I really want to encourage you to please subscribe to this channel. There's a button right in the corner there, completely free for you. Obviously, it helps me keep delivering this free content to you as well. We're going to take in some of these views, listen to the beautiful sirens of Las Vegas, and we'll touch base with you on checkout day.
Several days later.
All right, guys, now comes the hard part that I always hate, and that is checkout day, especially at the Cosmopolitan. I always hate leaving this place. Yeah, I'm sure you can see why. But anyway, before I did that, I did want to give you guys just a quick kind of run through of what our experience was like here, our experience with the room, the hotel, the restaurants, etc. So let's get into that right now. Now, I did set myself a goal this year that I was going to try and make my videos a little bit shorter. So I didn't go all out with the actual restaurants, for example. So I just did some quick little clips of that, which I will very quickly go over for you guys a little bit later. Let's start by talking about our check-in experience. So we were actually staying at a neighboring property for the first night when we got here. We got here late on a Monday night. So we were checking in at the Cosmo on Tuesday morning. We came over to Cosmo pretty early, had just a terrace, 1 bedroom, I believe, booked. And I don't even think we had the fountain view booked. I think we originally just had a Harmon view booked because we thought, okay, whatever, we've stayed in that type of room before with, the Bellagio fountains. Let's check out the other one and show a different room on this channel, because I do definitely like to try and do that for you guys, even if it sometimes means sacrificing a stay that I would prefer to have. I do try to, show you guys different options at different hotels. So we checked in at the invited guests area, or prefer, I forget what the area is called anyway, because Cody and I both do have platinum status at the Cosmopolitan currently. We checked in with somebody named, I believe her name was Kim. She was awesome, and just asked if there's any upgrades available. Just, you know, we always tend to ask just in case there's something available. She didn't say there was anything complimentary, but she said she could get us into, you know, gave us a couple different options. Mentioned this Wraparound Terrace room and said for an extra $90 a night. Now, we were staying here on Cody's comps for 2 nights because he had a $250 resort credit that he still needs to use. So we thought, okay, we'll stay here for 2 nights under your name, and then we'll switch it over to my name. I unfortunately did not have any more comp stays, but I still did have that $250 resort credit. So we thought, let's just do it that way. So we'll do 2 nights under your name, 1 night under my name, both get those $250 resort credits so we can spend on, you know, food and things like that. So did it that way. Anyway, she said that she'd get us this Wraparound Terrace room for an extra $90 a night, which, yeah, we jumped on that because, you know, can you blame us? We were told the room would probably be ready by around 2-ish, and we thought, that's a bummer, but oh well, you know, we'll just get them to hold on to our luggage, you know, do our thing on the strip and whatever the case is. Got the email that the room was ready, came to check in, and it seemed like all the stuff that we had requested had suddenly disappeared. So we, you know, we obviously wanted the fountain view, we wanted the Wraparound Terrace, we wanted a high floor because that way we could see the Sphere and this and that, because we actually were on a lower floor the last time we were here and we didn't get to see the Sphere, which was kind of a bummer. Anyway, all that stuff seemed to be disappeared. The guy basically said he had to recheck us in and give us, you know, and couldn't give us a time frame as to when our room would be ready. So very frustrating, but we thought, okay, let's just, you know, deal with it. They kept our luggage. We kind of just wandered around more and more and more, but honestly, I hate that. I hate not having a home base. I mean, even though we would have been out and about anyway, I don't like not having a home base. I don't like, you know, if you need to drop something off or whatever the case is, it's, I don't know, it just bothers me. So I just sort of felt a little bit lost wandering around the strip for a few hours. At this point, it was well after 3 o'clock as well. So, you know, check-in lines were getting a little bit crazy. We didn't really know if we'd even be getting a room at that point. So this is not something we ever normally do, but we did ask to speak to, you know, a manager on duty. We, you know, we were calm about it. We didn't kick off or anything. Ended up speaking to a gentleman named Jonathan, I believe that was his name. Super helpful. Asked us, you know, what the situation was. Asked us which we wanted. Said he could either put us in the Boulevard or the Chelsea Tower. We opted to actually go on the Boulevard Tower. I have stayed in this Wraparound Terrace style room back in 2014, I believe, but we were over in the Chelsea Tower. In fact, I always stay in the Chelsea Tower. I've never actually stayed in the Boulevard Tower. The main difference being the Chelsea Tower is going to be a little bit further back from the strip, whereas the Boulevard Tower, you are literally right on Las Vegas Boulevard. He was able to get us in the room right away. So, I mean, obviously it does go to show that, you know, if you do need to get something done, obviously, unfortunately, sometimes you do need to speak to somebody, I guess, who has maybe a little bit more authority. Again, I don't like doing that. We never do that. We usually just kind of go through the motions. But I think at that point, we were just a little bit frustrated with the whole experience. We didn't dwell on it though, and my point I'm trying to make in this scenario is it's not so much what happens in those situations, it's how they deal with it. And we definitely felt that, you know, Jonathan dealt with things very well. We were very happy in the end. Everything was cool, didn't ruin our stay. Everything ended up being, you know, fine after that. So yeah, just, you know, try and be patient, I guess, is the moral of the story. You know, be calm with people. Don't, you know, kick off. Don't be mean. Don't anything like that. Just speak calmly to people. Tell them what you need. Tell them what you want, and hopefully they'll be able to help you out. Now, got into the room. Everything was exceptional. I mean, I did kind of imagine us being, because, you know, we are on a corner suite. I imagined us being on a corner on the opposite side, where we would have the view of the Bellagio fountains and you know, the Las Vegas Strip. Unfortunately, we are on, I guess, this side. So on this wall here, I can see the Bellagio fountains over there, and unfortunately on that wall there, I'm basically looking back to the mountains and to the the Chelsea Tower of the Cosmopolitan. So it's not exactly what I wanted, but, you know, now I'm just kind of being picky, I think, at this point. So we just, you know, we're happy here, we accepted it, and yeah, let's move on. Now to get into the room. You can't go wrong in this room. This room is absolutely gorgeous. I've never had a bad stay at the Cosmo. I've lost count of how many times I've stayed at this property. The rooms here are all, you know, gorgeous. They're all phenomenal. This has definitely been renovated since my last time staying in this type of room. I remember the wallpaper being a lot more fun. Like in the bathroom, it looked like people were dancing on the walls and things like that. So they definitely have kept some styles, but also, you know, made it a little bit more classy. The artwork in here is awesome. Just all of it. It just it's a little attention to detail that Cosmopolitan offers that I just absolutely love. Yeah, so cool. If you want to get like picky about certain things, I did notice this sounds really first world problems, but our first bathroom that you as you first walk into the room, the light flickered a lot in there. Not the end of the world, but again, if I have to pick picky points basically. Another being there was one particular night or morning, however you want to look at it, when the pipes were making a lot of noise. Now I thought the maybe neighbors above us or beside us were, you know, enjoying themselves maybe a little too much, but it turns out it was the pipe. So Cody was able to fix it, you know, just turn the water on in a couple different spots, and it did seem to stop eventually, but they were making quite a lot of noise. But again, this is me just being extremely picky. This room style, though, I will say it's a lot of room, and we definitely did not utilize it to its full potential. I mean, we spent most of the time, obviously we were in Vegas, we spent most of the time out anyway, so, you know, having a nice room is always a plus, but it's really not a necessity. You know, even when we were actually in the room, you know, if we made a drink, we'd be sort of in this bar area before we kind of went out and did something. We didn't really hang around here. We probably sat in that living room. I think maybe I sat in there once just to film something. Otherwise, we never did. Same with the dining area. Even the Wraparound Terrace, we barely sat out there. We are here in a pretty cold month. We're here in January, so it's chilly and it's getting colder. So we didn't really spend too much time out there besides just to watch the fountains or just to kind of walk around and be like, wow, this room's awesome kind of thing, but didn't really take full advantage. As I said, we spent most of the time kind of just sleeping in the bedroom area and, you know, getting ready in the other bathroom that's connected to the bedroom, I guess the, you know, the ensuite or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, didn't really take full advantage of this room. Where I can see this room being extremely handy is if you're staying with a group. So say, like, you know, if you watched my last video, we were here with our friends who were staying in a room on the opposite hallway of us. And I think this would be a great place to stay with them, for example, because at least that way you have like all this space that you can kind of hang out, sort of neutral grounds, and like the you know, the living room, the dining room, the bar area where you can kind of congregate before you go out, or, you know, at the end of the night, kind of just chat or whatever the case is. That'd probably be the best sort of scenario for this type of room. Strangely enough, though, there is no extra bedroom. There are two adjoining doors, so if you do have maybe, you know, some more guests with you, or you're with a family, you want to have a separate room kind of that's still attached, there are two adjoining suites. It does seem, because there's two doors there, that I'm guessing that's what those are. Strangely enough, though, no pull-out couch. You know, you do have this nice little sectional here, but no pull-out couch. I do remember when I stayed here about 10 or so years ago, we ended up getting a pull-out bed for me, like, because I was with my family at the time too, so I'm just setting it up on the corner there. It's a little cot. It wasn't the best, but anyway. Speaking of sleeping, though, another thing I did want to mention is I did get a pretty terrible sleep here, and I don't want to necessarily fault the Cosmopolitan for that. The bed was pretty comfortable. I did find that the blanket was extremely hot, but when I took it off, I found myself to be cold, so it was just sort of, I couldn't find that right temperature for me. Even the pillows I found to be very big but kind of mushied in there. So I don't know, I just personally had a harder time sleeping. I think Cody was more or less okay, but I know for me, I didn't have the best sleep experience. But again, once again, I don't want to necessarily fault the Cosmopolitan for that. It could just be my personal preference. It could be just me not feeling it this week and just, you know, not sleeping the best for whatever reason. Maybe, you know, my mind's going crazy or whatever the case is. But yeah, didn't get the best sleep. You can definitely see MGM's influence starting to, you know, come into the Cosmopolitan, which I, like many others, are probably, you know, fairly concerned about that. Don't get me wrong, I do like MGM. They do have some great properties in their, you know, portfolio, but the Cosmopolitan has always been sort of its own standalone property that's had its own personality, its own style, and it does worry me a little bit what MGM is going to do that. For example, you know, we had those 5 widths toiletries, but then sometimes we randomly had like a little again, I don't know how to say it, QR, whatever, toiletries in the bathrooms as well, like the moisturizer, let's just call it, I forget what it's called. Anyway, we had some of that in the room, which I thought was kind of strange. Like, I hate when toiletries aren't consistent. It just seems like kind of tacky to me. But we did still have also the moisturizers of 5 widths in another room. So again, I don't know why that happened, but it did. I know even speaking with some staff, they did mention that, you know, they really liked it when they were working for, I think it was Blackstone was the original owner, you know, just with some of the bonuses they would get and, you know, just the way they were treated. They got so spoiled here, and now with MGM coming in, that is probably going to change. I know that we won't necessarily notice that, but I think he still kind of will. I mean, when employees aren't happy, or if, they're not getting the recognition that they once got, you can sometimes feel that with, check-in or people going above and beyond. You can see that sometimes people just don't care. I haven't really experienced that here for the most part. The Cosmopolitan hospitality has still been on point. We did actually, we'll mention as well, we did actually eat here more than we normally have in the past. So day one, we went to Tekka Bar, which we have been to before. This is in that Block 16 kind of food hall-y area. This is gonna be like hand rolls that they make like on site for you. You can pick like whatever ones you want a la carte. They have little sets as well. Like I think the last one was called the jackpot or the high roll or whatever, which had like 5 different rolls. Everything from crab, tuna, scallops, etc. Made to order, fresh, right in front of you. Slap it on the table in front of you. You eat it. They make another one. Slap it. Like it's really nice how they do that. We did that for our first meal. We've eaten there a few times. We do enjoy it there. That night we ended up at a Super Frico, or it was either that night or the next night, I forget. But anyway, we ended up at Super Frico. Again, super fun place. It's sort of Italian-American type food. They used to have the show Opium there with Spiegelworld. Unfortunately, Opium is now gone. They finished on December 31st of 2023, so that was their last show. So we did notice a difference because we did eat there last summer, and while Opium was still going on and we saw the show after, we did find that there was a bit of a difference in the lack of performers that would come out during your meal. We found there were a lot more people walking around and performers and whatnot last summer when they still had the show going on. So I'm curious what the future of Super Frico is going to be. Is it going to stick around? Is it going to be here for a while? I don't know. So should be interesting. I hope they kind of keep the vibe that they had before, though. It was always super fun to eat there. It definitely felt different this time. So, I guess they're kind of just getting their bearings. It was only a couple days after Opium closed, so maybe they're still kind of figuring things out. We did hear that apparently a lot of the performers did end up going to other shows like Absinthe, Comic Saloon, and Disco Show, which is opening up the link. So at least the performers did find homes, but yeah, the vibe was definitely a little bit different. Of course, we got our secret pizza. We had to get our secret pizza. That's always good too. I do find that at least in my opinion, it did seem like the slices did get smaller and the price obviously bigger, but I think that's just sort of like the situation all around the world right now with the economy. It's just, you're paying more and getting less. That's kind of just what it is. But the pizza there is good. So if you just want to grab a quick slice, or you can even grab a whole pie, that's always a nice option as well. I definitely like the white pizza with that like ricotta on top. It's very garlicky. You're gonna stink afterwards, but it's delicious. And then last night we actually tried a new place for us, at least. It was China Poblano. It was sort of like Mexican Chinese fusion. Very interesting. We ate at a Jose Andres restaurant at Atlantis last year, and it was good. So we were interested to see what his take on would be of this type of food. It was pretty reasonable. I only wish I was more hungry because we didn't get enough food, and the menu looked great. There was a lot of options on there. We had the Jesus, what was it called? The queso fundido, I think it was called. It was really good, like cheese that they sort of flambe with tequila, and then you have like these tortilla that to eat it. Anyway, it was really, really good. I definitely recommend that. I would love to go back there and try some more of their food. Their menu looked awesome. I'm gonna probably try and do some shorts. I took a few little clips while we were in there, not do a full-on restaurant reviews. I don't know. We'll see what happens. There probably will be some shorts, so keep an eye out for those. Anyway, I don't know what more I can say that I haven't said or hasn't been said by other people who have stayed at this property before. The Cosmopolitan, for me, you just can't go wrong. The location's amazing. You're right in the middle of the strip. The casino's fun. They've got lots of new games. I will say that the casino's never been that friendly to me winning wise. Like we played yesterday at Caesars and at Mirage, and both were awesome to me, which surprised me because Caesars is never nice to me, but even they were nice to me. And yeah, even Mirage, I did really well in the Mirage, but I never do well at the Cosmopolitan. I feel like I just keep feeding the machine, and I never get anything. But the machines are still fun. They got all the different invaders of Planet Moolah and different fun games like that we like to play, Stinking Rich, etc. So we enjoy the casino here. The problem is it enjoys us a lot more though. Lots of restaurant options, as I mentioned. I do like the fact that they now have that bridge connecting you to Bellagio and to Vdara. That's made kind of getting back and forth a lot easier, especially in these months. It is a little bit chillier right now. We also did get a little bit of rain this week as well, so at least you kind of get yourself protected, don't have to be outside as much. So I do like that they finally started, connected those properties and made things very convenient. Anyway, I'm sure I'm forgetting something. I always have in my head, like the things I want to discuss, the things I want to go over, and then I just start kind of riffing, and then afterwards I think, oh, I never mentioned this or that. So sorry, a couple just came to my mind now, a couple more picky points about the room itself. I mean, as much as I do love the room, our last room at Vdara had a microwave, and I would have loved if this room did have a microwave. I know that this room used to have like a full-sized refrigerator. Not that you necessarily need that. It did have the mini fridge. So, you know, you don't really need a full-size refrigerator, but I do wish there was a microwave, you know, because we did have leftovers a couple times. It would have been nice to have heated that up. But again, this is me just being picky. And then even all these curtains, like I had to manually open them. And I know a lot more hotels these days have, you know, just a button that they will open. I know, again, that sounds super lazy, but, you know, it's not that old of a property that I feel like it should have that. But is this spot right for you? This is definitely not going to be your budget hotel. This is going to be one of your I wouldn't say pricier, but probably pricier. It is up there, especially now it's moving into the MGM portfolio. It's going to probably be on par, I'm guessing, with the Bellagio and Aria, kind of their higher tier hotels and properties. It's in a great location. You are center strip. There's lots to do around here. It's got a fun vibe. It's classy, but still, you know, funky and cool. It's you know, I don't know. I think it's just got such a great vibe here. I think it's definitely good for, you know, I would say a mix of age group. You do have, you know, a bit of something for everybody. You got, you know, I wouldn't say budget friendly restaurants, but you got some restaurants that are a little bit on the, I guess, cheaper side in comparison. You got sort of the ones on the, I believe, third floor, which are, you know, a little bit more high end, like Bean Essex and Scarpetta and a couple places like that. But you also have ones that are a little bit more friendly, like as I mentioned, Holstein's and China Poblano. Just all in all, I just think this is a really fun, well-rounded property. Now that Opium is gone though, the one thing I will say is they are sort of lacking the entertainment factor. I mean, I know they got, you know, marquee, they've got, you know, the club and, you know, pools and whatnot, but without having a show here, I will say that's probably one thing that is lacking. So I'm sure there will be something that will be replacing it down the road. So we'll have to keep our eyes and ears open for that. I'm excited to see what they bring to the Cosmopolitan. Anyway, I don't know what else I have left to say that hasn't been said already in maybe one of my other videos, or, you know, that maybe you have heard from somebody else. Just all around, I love the Cosmopolitan. It's a great place to stay. Easily one of my favorites, if not my favorite place in I wouldn't even say Las Vegas. I would say in general, this is probably just one of my favorite hotels I stay in. So I'm you know, happy to be here, happy to show you guys this room, and really not happy about leaving though. If I have missed anything, please do not hesitate to leave any comments or questions below. It's helpful for other travelers as well, because they probably have the same questions that you do. You'd be very surprised. It's also helpful for me because any interaction you have with my videos, whether you're liking, commenting, sharing, etc., it all helps with the algorithm, which is super helpful to me. If you're not subscribed, I really appreciate if you consider subscribing to the channel as well. It's completely free for you. Helps me keep delivering this free content to you as well. There's a little button in the corner there. If you touch that button there, you should be able to subscribe very easily. Once again, this is Daniel Spotlight. Viva Las Vegas, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.